of Altantuya Sharibu is one of the most high-profile criminal cases in Malaysian history. Altantuya, a Mongolian citizen, disappeared on 19th of October 2006 after leaving to meet Abdul Razak Baginda at his residence in Bukit Damansara. After she went missing, a police investigation was launched. The investigation eventually led authorities to a forested area in Puncak Niaga Shah Alam where the fragmented human remains were discovered. The chronology of the case: Altantuya was taken to a remote jungle area, then she was shot twice, and then her body was destroyed using an explosive device in attempt to conceal the evidence. This murder case was also known as C4 murder case since military-grade explosives were used to destroy the body. C4 is a plastic explosive substance used in military combat units for demolition, which is also known as RDX, Royal Demolition Explosive. The case attracted significant public attention because the involvement of police officers and also the usage of explosive to destroy the victim's body. The common motivation for the arson are the usage of explosives to neutralize the victim in purpose for revenge or jealousy.
After Altantuya Sharibu was reported missing, the police began investigating the other people who had close contact with her before her disappearance. The investigation revealed that Altantuya had a personal relationship with Abdul Razak Baginda, a political analyst, since he was one of the last known individuals connected to the victim before she went missing. The police focused on understanding the nature of their relationship and the events leading up to the disappearance. As the investigation progressed, attention shifted to the two members of the Malaysian Special Action Unit, Chief Inspector Azila Hadri and Corporal Cyril Azhar Umar. Based on witness statement and evidence gathered during the investigation, they became the main suspect in this case. In any criminal investigation, investigators do not rely on a single piece of evidence. Besides physical evidence, they also examine supporting evidence such as witness testimonies, communication record, and the suspect's movement to establish a clear timeline of events. Although the motive behind the murder has been widely discussed, the court focused on whether the available evidence was sufficient to prove the involvement of the accused beyond a reasonable doubt. This case demonstrates that identifying suspect requires a systematic investigation supported by multiple sources of evidence.
Here is what I'm going to tell you all what I have been discovered through the physical evidence behind the murder of Altantuya Sharibu. At the crime scene in Puncak Niaga Shah Alam, forensic investigators discovered human skeletal remains, including approximately 322 bone fragments as well as hair, skin, and body tissue scattered across the area. The remains were severely fragmented due to powerful explosion, with some bones, including a clavicle, found lodged in a nearby tree, while larger bones such as parts of the spine remains on the ground. Investigators also documented extensive burn marks, charred tree, stripped tree bark, and scorched vegetation surrounding the scene, all indicating that a high-power explosive had been detonated. During the examination, to recover bone fragments, tissue, and hair were subjected to DNA analysis and compared with blood samples obtained from the victim's parents. The results were confirmed with a 99.999% probability that the remains belonged to Altantuya Sharibu. Additionally, physical evidence was later recovered from the second accused residence, including the victim's llama's wristwatch and a gold diamond ring and a pair of earrings, all of which were positively identified as her personal belongings. Police also says the second accused, Suzuki Vitara, where a pair of blood-stained slippers was found. Laboratory DNA testing confirmed that the blood matched the victim's DNA profile, providing a direct forensic link between the victim and the vehicles. Further scientific examination of the crime scene revealed traces of military-grade explosive, specifically PET and RDS on soil samples, cotton swab, plastic fragments, and pieces of wire collected from the area. To preserve the condition of the scene, investigators photographed every piece of evidence, producing more than 245 crime scene photographs. documenting the location of the remains, the explosive damage, and the surrounding environment. Physical evidence is one of the most important components of any criminal investigation because it provides objective and scientific proof of what occurred. It helps investigators to identify the victim, determine the cause of death, connect suspects with the crime scene, and reconstruct the sequence of events. Unlike witness testimony, physical evidence cannot forget or become biased, making it one of the most reliable forms of evidence presented in court. In the Al-Tantunya Sharibu case, the physical evidence formed the foundation of the forensic investigation and played a crucial role in establishing the facts that support the prosecution case.
Moving on to mistakes in cases. Based on our reading, there are two mistakes in this case. The first one is the external influence, whereby the involvement of high authorities to cover up the truth of the case. The case generated intense public debate since two police officers were convicted of murder, yet questions remain regarding the motive of the crime. Secondly, the extensive destruction of the body. The use of explosives had caused severe fragmentation of the body. Forensic pathologists recovered approximately only 322 bone fragments, but many skeletal structures were incomplete. The destruction complicated the determination of exact cause of death, the sequence of injuries, position of victim, and precise reconstruction of events.
The other mistake in this case was the delay identification of the victim. Because the victim's body was destroyed in C4 explosive, investigators could not identify her immediately. They had to rely on forensic examinations and DNA testing to confirm her identity, which delayed the investigation. The last mistake was the abuse of police power. The perpetrators were police officers who misused their authority and official position to abduct the victim. Instead of protecting the public, they used their power to commit a serious crime which greatly undermined public trust in law enforcement. Now, I will explain the court's decision and the lesson learned from this case. After years of investigation and legal proceedings, the court found that the victim, Al-Tantunya Sharibu, had been unlawfully killed. The evidence presented, including forensic findings, DNA analysis, witness testimonies, and other physical evidence, proved that the crime had taken place. Regarding the court's decision, Chief Inspector Azila Hadri and Corporal Sirul Azhar Umar, who were members of the Royal Malaysia Police's Special Action Unit, UPK, were convicted of murdering Al-Tantunya Sharibu. They were sentenced to death by the federal court. After the conviction, Sirul Azhar Umar fled to Australia before the final judgment was delivered. He was later detained by the Australian authorities under immigration laws because Australia does not extradite individuals who may face the death penalty. Meanwhile, Azila Hadri remained in Malaysia and continued serving his sentence. This case also highlighted the importance of forensic science in criminal investigations. First, physical evidence is extremely important because it provides reliable and scientific proof that can support witness statements and establish the facts of a case. Second, the destruction of the victim's body makes the forensic investigation much more difficult. Since the body was destroyed using explosive, forensic experts had to reconstruct the evidence from fragmented remains and conduct DNA analysis to identify the victim. Third, even when criminals attempt to destroy evidence, other forms of evidence can still help solve the case. DNA results, witness testimonies, police records, and forensic examinations all play an important role to identify the victim and link the suspect to the crime. Finally, every piece of evidence, no matter how small, can become the key to solve a case. Small bone fragments, tissue samples, blood stains, and DNA evidence were all crucial in helping investigators uncover the truth. In conclusion, the Al-Tantunya case demonstrates how forensic science, together with careful investigation and strong evidence, plays a vital role in achieving justice, even in highly complex criminal cases.